Okay, so are you ready? Because we are going deep into the world of Marvel's first family.
The Fantastic Four.
That's right.
They're back.
Back with a brand new movie, The Fantastic Four. First steps.
And that teaser trailer.
Oh, the teaser trailer.
It has got everybody talking.
It really does.
And this is not just a retelling of the same origin story, you know?
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times now.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're really trying to go for something new here.
They are. And we've got articles. We've got a stack of them.
We do.
Telegraph India, The Plunge Daily, Bollywood Hungama.
Yeah, a lot of sources here.
Yeah, they're hinting at something different.
Very different.
Something very different.
Yeah.
And even like the fashion world's weighing in. The Fashion Spot's got an article about it.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
One of the things that stood out to me, of course, was where they chose to launch the teaser.
Yeah, where was that?
The U.S. Space and Rocket Center.
Hmm.
It's like, they're setting the tone.
That's very clever.
Right.
Yeah.
Scientific wonder and exploration.
Exactly. Yeah, hinting at the kind of like cosmic scale.
Exactly. And speaking of exploring, this movie is hitting theaters July 25th, 2025.
Oh, okay.
Mark your calendars.
Okay.
But let's talk about this cast because, okay, we've got Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
We've got Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm.
The Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm. The Human Torch is being played by Joseph Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
And rounding it all out is Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm.
As the Thing.
As the Thing. So what are your initial thoughts on this lineup?
I mean, it's a very diverse and talented group, isn't it? Pascal, I mean, he just brings this gravitas from his roles.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian, Game of Thrones.
Sure. And Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah. The Mission.
Impossible.
She can handle the action.
She can definitely handle the action.
And we can't forget Joseph Quinn.
Oh, he's got that energy, right?
Yes.
From Stranger Things.
Right.
Perfect for Johnny Storm, right?
Absolutely.
And then there's Ebon Moss-Bachrach.
Oh, yeah.
Who's shown incredible, depth in shows like The Bear.
Yeah, he has. I
am really intrigued to see how he portrays Ben Grimm's transformation.
Me too. That's going to be interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how do you become the Thing?
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems like, just from this lineup, I mean, Marvel's going for a little bit more of a dramatic and character-driven approach, wouldn't you say?
It seems that way, yeah.
They've chosen actors known for their ability to really convey emotional complexity.
Absolutely.
Which maybe means, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the Fantastic Four's internal dynamics.
It could be, yeah.
Here's where it gets really interesting, okay?
Yeah.
The movie is set in the 1960s.
Oh, wow.
But with a retro-futuristic twist.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking flying cars.
Right.
But you still got that cool 60s aesthetic.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
I like it.
It's like, what's not to love?
Yeah.
Right. But what do you think about the 1960s setting?
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, for so many reasons.
Right.
It makes it visually different from anything we've seen before.
Right.
But it also kind of taps into that era's fascination with science and the unknown.
Okay.
Like, we had incredible technological advances.
Yeah.
But then there's also like that Cold War anxiety
So.
and a growing awareness of the consequences
Ooh.
of all this scientific progress.
Yeah. Okay. So that historical context, that might play a role in how they even get their powers this time around.
I would say, yeah, absolutely. It's a possibility. Yeah.
Because the director, Matt Shakman, he did WandaVision.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He wants to blend the familiar with the unexpected.
That makes sense.
And so, maybe their origin story is like intertwined with the 1960s in a way that we just haven't seen before.
That's very possible.
Yeah. Okay. So let's unpack the teaser trailer a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
We see a family dinner scene. It's emphasizing the team's bond. But then there are these quick cuts, the action sequences and this looming sense of danger.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Galactus.
Ah, Galactus.
So tell me a little bit, for folks who don't know, like, who's Galactus in this world?
So he's this cosmic entity with an
appetite.
A big appetite, let's say.
Yeah.
He consumes planets.
He eats planets.
He does, to sustain himself.
So the teaser doesn't shy away from the fact that he represents a huge threat.
No, it doesn't.
It feels personal to the team.
Right.
Which really raises those stakes even higher.
Yeah, it does.
And then there's a mention of the Silver Surfer.
Okay.
Who in the comics often acts as Galactus's herald.
As herald, right?
Like, what do you think about how they might adapt this storyline?
Well, I mean, the Silver Surfer is a really interesting character, because he's always caught between his loyalty to Galactus,
Right.
but then his sympathy for the civilizations that he has to basically doom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's really complex, but he suggests that maybe they're going to explore sacrifice, moral compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are interesting themes for this particular movie, right?
Yeah, very interesting.
And there's another layer to this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Remember that cityscape in the concept art?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kevin Feige hinted that cityscape might not be New York.
Interesting.
Okay. So could this mean that we're dealing with an alternate universe?
I mean, the multiverse is something that, Marvel has been playing with a lot lately, right?
Yeah.
The idea that there are all these parallel universes, it just opens up so many possibilities for storytelling.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is if this film is set in an alternate universe.
It could have huge ramifications for the broader MCU.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
And we can't overlook Vanessa Kirby's fashion choice at the launch.
Oh.
That black and blue Versace dress with the cutouts.
Yeah.
Like very deliberate.
It did seem very deliberate.
Yeah. And I was thinking, fashion is often used as like a visual storytelling in these events, right?
Right.
So what do you think, her dress, the color scheme, the cutouts, is that a nod to Sue's powers?
Oh, could be.
Or maybe even a hint at her costume design?
It's possible.
Right. It all feels very intentional.
It does.
Like they're dropping these little clues
Yeah.
and encouraging fans to speculate.
Yeah, they want us to play along.
They want us to play along.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It definitely makes the wait for the film more exciting.
Absolutely.
It does. And speaking of the wait, I mean, we do have a bit of a wait.
We do.
Until July 25th, 2025.
Right.
But while we wait, I think it's worth considering, what a 1960s setting could mean for a character like Ben Grimm.
The Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Because his transformation is such a crucial part of the Fantastic Four story.
Absolutely.
And it'd be really interesting to see how that plays out, against the backdrop of the Cold War and the space race.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about it. I mean, this was a time of immense social and political change.
Right.
People were, trying to grapple with this rapid pace of technological advancement.
Yeah.
And the potential for both progress and destruction.
Absolutely.
So Ben's struggle with his appearance.
Right.
And, his loss of humanity. I mean, that could resonate even more powerfully in this context, don't you think?
I think so, yeah.
It's almost like his physical transformation mirrors the anxieties of that era, right?
Yeah.
Like a sense of losing control,
right,
of becoming something monstrous in the face of all of this change.
Yeah, I can see that.
And, that duality, like that tension between hope and fear. I mean, that's something that the Fantastic Four has always embodied, haven't they?
I have, yeah.
They represent the best and worst of what science can achieve, right?
Exactly.
And their struggles, they really reflect the challenges that we face.
As a society.
As a society, exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got this fascinating setting.
We do.
This compelling cast.
Yes.
These hints of this mind-bending, cosmic storyline. But let's go back to the teaser for a moment.
Okay.
There's a shot of Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
Right.
And he's flying through the air, leaving this fiery trail behind him.
Yeah.
And he shapes that trail into the number 4.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it was a small detail.
Right.
But it really stood out to me.
I can see why.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, that visual reference to their logo, you know, it's very clever.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
It connects the film to the Fantastic Four's legacy. It reminds you, okay, this is a fresh take, but we're still honoring...
We're honoring the core.
These characters.
Their history.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
And, it showcases the potential for the action sequences.
Yes.
I mean, they're going to be amazing, right?
Oh, visually stunning.
Visually stunning, yeah.
And remember what we were saying about that cityscape?
Oh, right.
Not being New York.
Right.
Okay, and then the 4 formation, it's almost like they're saying this is going to be a grand scale.
It seems like it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they want to capture, the awe and wonder of these characters' powers.
Yes.
But then ground it in a relatable human story.
Right.
And speaking of awe and wonder, there is that scene where the Thing is holding up a mountain.
Oh, yes.
It's a brief glimpse.
Right.
But it just speaks volumes.
About his power.
About the raw power that he possesses.
Ben Grimm He's always been the heart of the Fantastic Four.
He has.
You know, he's the one who sacrifices the most. He bears the burden, of his transformation, both physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
But he's always loyal.
He is.
To his family.
He is. He's strong. He's resilient.
And that's what makes the Fantastic Four so compelling, right?
It is.
They're more than just superheroes.
They're a family.
They're a family with all the complexities.
The challenges.
The challenges that come with it.
Exactly. I mean, their dynamic is just so unique.
It is.
It sets them apart from all the other superhero teams.
Right, because they bicker.
They bicker. They support each other.
They do.
They go through these crazy experiences together.
Together.
It's very relatable.
It is. It's something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, even if you don't have superpowers.
Even if you don't have superpowers.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for the Fantastic Four? First steps. I mean, we've got this unique 1960s setting, hints of the multiverse, this potentially world-ending threat.
Yes.
We've got this incredible cast.
Very talented.
A director who seems really dedicated to exploring the depths of these characters.
It seems like it.
What do you think? It's clear that Marvel is being very bold.
They are.
They're not just rebooting.
They're reimagining.
They're reimagining it for a new generation.
But they're still honoring the legacy that came before.
Yeah.
They're playing with these high concept ideas like, the multiverse and cosmic entities.
Right.
But they're also grounding the story in these really complex family dynamics.
Right.
And the human condition.
Yes.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that they decided to skip the origin story.
Oh, yeah, me too.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's a little risky.
It is?
But it shows that they are confident that the audience is already familiar with the characters.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And it lets them jump right into the action.
Right into the action.
And focus on the next chapter of their journey.
Exactly. It's like they're saying,
I don't know who they are.
You know who they are? Now let's see what they become.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's a much more compelling approach.
It is.
Don't you think?
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
The cast and the setting, that teaser trailer, those multiverse connections.
Right.
But before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on one more thing.
Okay.
The director, Matt Shakman.
Ah, yes.
I mean, his success with WandaVision.
It just shows his ability to blend all these different genres.
Yeah.
And tell stories that are both really personal and imaginative.
Right.
He's not afraid to take risks.
He's not.
He pushes boundaries.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Fantastic Four needs.
I think so.
Right.
A director who can capture that spirit of adventure and scientific wonder.
Yes.
But also delve into the emotional core of these characters.
And he can do that.
I think so, yeah.
I think so, too. So Shakman's vision, the talented cast, this intriguing setting.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has the potential to create something special.
It does.
Something that will resonate with longtime fans, but also introduce a whole new generation to the Fantastic Four.
To Marvel's first family.
Exactly. And we have only just brushed the surface.
Just the beginning.
But I think we've given you a lot to think about.
Lots to think about.
And I guess my final question for you is, as we wait for this film to come out, what are you most excited to see brought to life on the big screen?
Honestly, it's hard to choose just one thing,
It is. It's a lot.
It is.
It is. There's a lot going on here.
It's all fascinating, that 1960s setting, the potential for a multiverse, the family dynamics. But I think what I'm most curious about is how they're going to handle the Thing's transformation.
Oh, okay.
It's such a pivotal moment in their story.
It is.
And I can't wait to see, Shakman's vision and how he brings it to life.
That's a great point. Ben's transformation, I mean, it is visually striking.
Yes.
But it's also very thematically rich.
Absolutely.
It speaks to the duality of scientific progress.
Yes.
The potential for creation,
right,
but also destruction.
Right.
And given the 1960s setting,
I
mean, it could take on even deeper meaning.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about the Cold War anxieties.
Yeah.
We've talked about the space race.
Right.
But what if their origin is directly tied to those events?
Oh, interesting.
What if their powers are the result of some Cold War experiment gone wrong?
Oh, okay.
Or maybe an encounter with cosmic forces during a space mission.
That's very compelling.
Right.
Yeah.
It would align with that whole retro futuristic aesthetic.
Sure.
And the filmmaker's decision to skip that traditional origin story.
Absolutely.
I mean, instead of a straightforward cosmic ray incident.
Right.
Their powers are a consequence of humanity's ambition. You know?
Yeah.
And the unintended consequences of, like, pushing scientific boundaries.
It would add, like, a whole other layer of complexity.
It would,
wouldn't
yeah,
it?
It would.
And moral ambiguity to their origins.
Yeah.
You know, forcing them to actually confront
the responsibility
that comes with those abilities.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It also ties their story to a specific historical context.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
It reflects the fears and aspirations of that era.
Absolutely.
It's like their powers become a metaphor for the transformative power of science.
Yeah.
And the potential for both progress and disaster.
That's a good point.
Right.
It is.
And I think that metaphorical layer, that's what elevates the Fantastic Four.
Beyond just another team.
Beyond just another team, right?
Yeah.
They become a reflection of ourselves.
Yeah.
Of our own hopes and anxieties.
Absolutely.
It's our struggles with change.
Yeah.
And the unknown.
The unknown.
They're holding a mirror up to society.
They are.
Asking us to consider, like, the choices that we make.
Yes.
And the potential consequences of our actions.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It is deep, yeah.
It is.
And it's a powerful message, I think, for today.
Especially today.
Especially today, you know?
Yeah, with rapid technological advancements.
Yes.
And we're all grappling with, you know, the ethical implications of all these new scientific discoveries.
Exactly.
This has been incredible.
Yes.
I mean, we've explored the cast, the setting.
The teaser trailer.
The potential multiverse connections.
Right.
We've delved into some really fascinating theories.
We have.
About their origin story.
Yes.
I don't know about you.
I am ready.
But I am so ready for July 25th.
Me too.
To get here.
I can't wait.
Yeah. The Fantastic Four. First steps. I think it has all the ingredients.
It does.
For a truly groundbreaking superhero film.
I agree.
Yeah, we've just scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
But I think we've given everybody a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
And here's one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
What if the 1960s setting isn't just about the origin story?
Right.
What if it's not even about the Cold War anxieties?
Okay.
What if it's also about capturing a sense of optimism, a belief in the power of science and exploration to make the world a better place?
That's a good point.
What if, despite all the challenges that they face, the Fantastic Four remind us that even in the face of the unknown, there's always hope for a brighter future?
There is.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I think it's a great point.
Okay, so we're going to leave everybody with that.
We'll
ponder.
To think about.
Until next time, when we dive even deeper.
Sounds good.
Into the Fantastic Four. First steps.
I'm excited.
Me too.
All right.
It's like they're playing this game with us.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it.
I know, me too.
It is fun. It is fun.
It is.
But while we wait, I think it's worth considering what this 1960s setting could mean for Ben Grimm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
Right.
That's interesting.
And transformation is such a crucial part of their story.
It is, absolutely.
It is, and it'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
Right.
You know, against this backdrop of the Cold War and the space race.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this was a time of just like huge social and political change.
Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And people were really grappling with this rapid pace of technology.
Yeah.
You know, the potential for progress, but also destruction.
Yeah, for sure.
So Ben's struggle with his parents and his loss of humanity, it could resonate, you know, even more powerfully in this context.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's almost like his physical transformation kind of mirrors like the anxieties of that era. You know, this sense of losing control, becoming something monstrous.
Yeah.
Like in the face of all this overwhelming change.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and you know that duality, that tension between hope and fear.
Right.
I mean, that's something that the Fantastic Four has always kind of embodied.
They have. Yeah, it's a classic theme.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they represent the best and worst of what science can achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And their struggles really reflect the challenges that we face.
As a society.
As a society, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, so we've got this fascinating setting.
Yeah.
We've got this compelling cast.
Absolutely.
We've got these hints of this, like, mind-bending cosmic storyline.
Right.
But let's go back to the teaser for a moment, okay? There's a shot of Johnny Storm.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch.
Great.
Okay, he's flying through the air, leaving this fiery trail behind him.
Yeah.
And he shapes that trail into the number 4.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it was a small detail.
Right.
but it really stood out to me.
I can see why.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that visual reference to their logo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so clever.
It is.
It connects the film to their legacy, you know? It says, okay, this is a fresh take.
Yeah.
But we're still honoring these characters and their history.
We are. And I like it.
Yeah. And it showcases the potential for the action.
Yes, it does.
Which is going to be amazing.
Visually stunning.
Visually stunning, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, remember we were talking about that cityscape?
Oh, right. Oh.
Not being New York?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see that, and then that 4 formation, it's almost like they're saying, this is going to be grand scale.
It seems like it.
You know, we're going to capture the awe and wonder of these characters' powers.
Yeah.
But ground it in a relatable human story.
Right.
And speaking of awe and wonder,
yes,
there's that scene where the thing is holding up a mountain.
Oh, yes.
It's brief.
Yeah, it's a quick glimpse.
It's a quick glimpse, but it's powerful.
Oh, it speaks volumes.
It does. It does.
About the raw power that he has.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Ben Grimm, he's always been the heart of the Fantastic Four, wouldn't you say?
He has.
He's the one who sacrifices the most.
He does. He really bears the burden, you know, physically and emotionally of his transformation.
He does. But he remains loyal.
Yeah.
To his family.
You know, he's strong, he's resilient.
Yes.
And that's what makes the Fantastic Four so compelling, right?
It is, yeah.
They're more than just a superhero team. They're a family.
They're a family. That's exactly right.
With all the complexities.
The challenges.
And challenges that come with that.
Absolutely. I mean, their dynamic is just so unique.
It is.
It sets them apart, you know?
It does. They bicker. They support each other.
They do. They go through these crazy experiences
together,
you know?
Together.
It's really relatable.
It is. It's something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, even if you don't have superpowers.
Even if you don't have superpowers. Exactly.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean for the Fantastic Four? First steps.
Right.
I mean, we've got this unique 1960s setting.
We do.
Hints of a multiverse connection.
Yeah.
A potentially world-ending threat. This incredibly talented cast. A director who seems very dedicated to exploring the depths of these characters.
It seems so.
What do you think?
It's clear that Marvel is being very bold with this film.
Yeah.
They're not just rebooting it, they're really reimagining it.
Yeah.
You know, for a new generation.
And yet they're still honoring that legacy.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're playing with these high concept ideas like, you know, the multiverse and cosmic entities.
Right.
But they're also grounding the story in, like, the human condition.
They are.
And these complex family dynamics.
Yeah, and that's important.
It is. And I'm especially intrigued by their decision to just skip the origin story altogether.
Yeah, me too. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's a risky move.
It is a little risky.
It is, but it also shows, like, a confidence in the audience.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, we know you know these characters.
You know the basics.
Yeah, we're just going to jump right into the action.
Right into the next chapter.
And focus on the next chapter of their journey.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, you know who they are.
Now let's see what they become.
I love that.
It's a much more compelling approach.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
You know, from the cast and the setting to that teaser trailer.
Yeah.
To those multiverse connections.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
But before we wrap up, I just wanted to touch on one more thing.
Okay.
And that's the director, Matt Shakman.
Yes, Matt Shakman.
I mean, his success with WandaVision.
Right.
It really shows his ability to blend genres.
He's so good at that.
Tell these stories that are, you know, both deeply personal.
Yeah.
But also wildly imaginative.
He is, and he's not afraid to take risks.
He isn't.
He pushes those boundaries, you know?
He does, and I think that's what the Fantastic Four needs.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
They need that director who can capture that spirit of adventure and scientific wonder, but also delve into that emotional core of the characters.
They need that, and he can do that.
I think so, yeah.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Shakman's vision, combined with this talented cast and this really intriguing setting, it really have the potential to create something, like, special.
It does,
you know, something that will resonate with longtime fans, but also introduce a whole new generation to Marvel's first family.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Ellie.
We've only scratched the surface here.
Just the beginning.
Been giving everyone a lot to think about.
Yeah, lots to think about.
So as we eagerly await the film's release, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
What are you most excited to see brought to life on the big screen? I mean, honestly, it's hard to pick just one thing.
It is.
You know, the 1960s setting, the multiverse, the family dynamics, it's all fascinating.
It is, yeah.
But I think what I'm most curious about is, like, how they'll handle the Thing's transformation.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a pivotal moment.
It is, yeah. Visually, it's so striking.
It is.
But also, thematically, it's so rich.
It is.
It speaks to, you know, the duality of scientific progress. Yeah, the potential for creation, but also destruction.
Right, and given that 1960s setting, I mean, it could have even deeper meaning.
It could, yeah.
We talked about the Cold War.
Yeah.
We talked about the space race. What if their origin is, like, directly tied to all of that?
Interesting.
What if their powers are the result of some Cold War experiment gone wrong?
Oh, okay.
Or even like an encounter with some kind of cosmic force during a space mission.
I mean, that's a compelling theory.
Right.
It would fit with that retro-futuristic aesthetic that they're going for.
And the filmmaker's decision to skip that traditional origin story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine, instead of some straightforward cosmic ray incident, their powers are a consequence of, like, humanity's ambition. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And the unintended consequences of pushing scientific boundaries.
It adds a whole other layer of complexity.
Yeah.
And moral ambiguity to their origin.
Yes.
You know, forcing them to confront the responsibility. Yes.
That comes with these abilities.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And it ties their story to this very specific historical context.
It does, yeah.
And it reflects, like, the fears and aspirations of that era.
It does, yeah, absolutely.
Like, their powers become this metaphor for the transformative power of science.
Right.
And the potential for progress, but also disaster.
That's a good point.
And I think that metaphorical layer, that's what elevates the Fantastic Four beyond just another superhero team, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
They become this reflection of ourselves.
Right.
Our hopes, our anxieties, our struggles with change, and the unknown.
The unknown, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, they're holding up a mirror to society.
Yeah.
Asking us to consider the choices that we make.
The consequences.
The consequences of our actions.
Absolutely.
This is deep stuff.
It is deep.
It is, and it's a powerful message.
It is, especially for today.
Especially for today, you know? You know, with all the rapid technological advancements that we're going through. And
we're all grappling with the ethical implications of that, right?
Yeah.
This has been incredible.
It has.
We've explored the cast, the setting, the teaser trailer, the multiverse, all these fascinating theories about the origin story.
So much to think about.
I am so ready for July 25th.
I am too. I can't wait.
The Fantastic Four. First steps. I think it has all the ingredients for a truly groundbreaking superhero film.
I think so too, yeah.
We've only just scratched the surface, but we've given you a lot to think about. And here's a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
What if the 1960s setting isn't just about the origin story or even the Cold War?
Right.
What if it's also about, like, capturing this sense of optimism?
Oh, okay.
Like a belief in the power of science and exploration to make the world a better place.
I like that.
What if, despite all the challenges, the Fantastic Four remind us that even when faced with the unknown, there's always hope for a brighter future?
That's a good point.
All right, so we're going to leave everyone with that to ponder. Until next time.
Until next time.
When we dive even deeper into the Fantastic Four. First steps.
Sounds good.
I'm excited.
Me too.
All right. See you later.
See ya.